Hey everyone, so today I will be giving a tutorial on how to set up the TwitchCraft Minecraft bot. So right now I'm starting off on the main GitHub for the bot. If you do not know how to get here, I will post that in the description. If you do not want to listen to this long tutorial, then you will be able to read the README down here, and that should be able to tell you everything you need to know about setting up the bot. However, if you are confused on a step, that is what this tutorial is for. So today I'm going to start off by going down to releases, and the most latest version will be right here as of April 2nd, 2026. The latest version is version 1.4.5.1. So we just want to click on that and then scroll down. You could read all this if you would like to, and then click on TwitchCraft bot.zip. So that is going to be the main bot file. You could click open file. And right here you see you have three things. You have getBotToken.exe, we'll need that later. README.txt, which is basically a copy of the README on the GitHub page. And TwitchCraft.exe, which is the main application. So the first thing you're going to want to do is extract the .zip. So you just want to right click it and then go to here, extract all. And these steps may be a little different if you're on Windows 10. I'm on Windows 11. And then once you extract that, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to twitchcraft.exe, and you could just double click on that twice. If this screen comes up, that's just normal because it's an exe. You can hit more info and then run anyway. And then it'll start you up right here. So it's going to start you on version 1.20.4 because that is the recommended version for this bot. But you are able to choose from between the first version of 1.20 all the way to 1.21.4, although you will need a separate JDK for that, which I'll get into later. There's an option to get rid of supported versions, and that will give you every single Minecraft version. However, it's 100% recommended to stay with supported versions, as most other versions almost definitely will not work or will have some kind of degraded performance. So the Minecraft server address is another thing you shouldn't change unless you know what you're doing. It defaults to 127.0.0.1. That I just recommend keeping. You could change it to something else, like whatever, but I'd recommend keeping it this if you are not advanced in this kind of stuff. So Twitch bot token, that is the next thing. That is where the get bot token comes in handy. So there is a little helper thing right here in case you didn't know. But what you need to do for here is you can go back to the folder, getBotToken.exe. You're just going to want to open that up. Same screen, run anyway. That'll only pop up once. So the first thing is input your client ID from dev.twitch.tv. So that is where you have to make an application for the bot. I already have an application and an account. I'll quickly go through how to do this. So it is recommended that you use a different account than your main account to set up the actual bot for the Twitch, because what this bot does is it works with all the commands in the chat and actually connecting your Twitch to your Minecraft. So it's highly recommended that you make a separate account for that, or else there might be some issues with actually loading the bot. You will need two-factor authentication though, so that's just something to know. So you'll probably need a phone number or a verified email or whatever it uses to accept two-factor authentication, or else it will not let you do this. So once you do create that account, you just want to go on dev.twitch.tv and sign in with it on there. And then once again, I already have this all set up. So what you normally do is you'd hit register your application. You type in a name, whatever name you want. The OAuth redirect URL is going to be http://localhost. Let me double check that that's correct actually. So we're just going to go back, manage. Yes, that is correct. So it's going to be that. And then let me just go back to that other screen. Here we go. So name here, http://localhost. You can also put another slash at the end. The category is going to be game integration. And you could keep it confidential. And then once you hit create, it will send you to a screen that looks like this. And it's going to give you a client ID. That client ID right there, you're going to want to take that and copy that. And then you're going to want to paste it right into here. And then it's going to confirm that it's correct. You can just hit Y or yes, it doesn't matter. Then input the redirect URL, which is going to be that http://localhost. Confirm that too. And then it's going to take you to your browser, and it's going to give you this right here. It's going to be a lot of letters and numbers. That's your bot token. So you're just going to want to copy that right into there. I already have a bot token, although I should be able to use this one, so let's try that out actually. And then the client ID, as we said earlier, that's just going to be your 60W or whatever your client ID is. And then it's going to be your Twitch channel name. So whatever account you want to stream on Twitch, my account is Anthony_is_epic. So I put that in. Make sure it's uppercase or lowercase, doesn't matter, but make sure you properly spell your username. And your Twitch bot name, that's going to be whatever you called your bot account that you just made for the dev.twitch.tv site. Whatever the, not the application, your actual account that you just created, the alternate account. So my name is AntonyBot for my bot. Once again, capitalization does not matter. If you wanted to show your client ID or your token, in case you might have put it in wrong, you can click on those. Okay, so once you are here, the next thing you're going to have to do is make sure that you have the correct JDK version installed. Once again, this depends on what version you're playing on. If you're playing on the recommended version or any of the versions before that, you are going to need JDK 17. And if you're playing on 1.20.5 all the way down to 1.21.4, you are going to need JDK 21. So to figure out how to download those, you can actually just go to the README, and it will give you the links. So for JDK 17, it is this link right here. They're both Oracle links, so you can click on that. And it will take you to this site. These are the archive downloads. You can go to the newer JDK versions if you know how to get to them. As long as it's JDK 17, it should work, no matter what the .o. whatever is. As long as it's JDK 17, it should work. And then what you want to do here is, if you do decide to use these versions, you could just use the most recent one on here. Do not download any of these. None of these. Do not download a single one of these or this one. You want to specifically download Windows x64 installer. So you're just going to want to click on that and download it. And then it might not even let me set it up again because I already have it. But let's just see if it... Okay, so it doesn't already let me set it up. So just go through the process. Just click. There's nothing really special you have to do there. Just go through the average regular Windows installer process. And once you have that, these versions should work. If you do want to play any of the more recent versions, you will need JDK 21. The link for that is also right here. And this should give you the most recent versions. For JDK 21, you might have to make an account on Oracle for some reason. So it is a little more difficult, but make sure you're on the JDK 21 tab and Windows and still use the installer version. Just download that. I'm sure it's just going to say the same exact thing when I try to run it. Obviously, always hit yes there. Okay, so it might let me install this. So let me actually give this a shot. Okay, so here's the setup wizard. This might be different for JDK 17. But yeah, just go through right here. Nothing you have to change. It's just going to go through this process right here, and then you'll be good. You can just close it here. And for proof that that should have worked, let's just go on 1.20.5 and hit start. So it's going to make me confirm that we have the server jar. It should automatically be there. If not, it will tell you otherwise. And yep, verification matched. Then it'll just send you right in. You don't got to worry about any of this. This is just the logs. This is unpacking the jar. So up here you have the Twitch logs. This is everything that Twitch sends you. So, for example, if somebody sent a chat, let me go on my phone real quick and send the chat. Once again, it'll go to whatever streamer name you specified, so make sure it's yours, or else there might be a lot of issues. So if I just type hi, you'll see my message right there. I also am in the viewer list. And whoever is in the viewer list, they will be earning every 30 to 60 seconds, they will be earning 1 token. So we could also get into tokens a little bit. But for now, as you see, the world loaded up. 4 seconds, not bad. It's on the server. So what you want to do now is you just want to boot up Minecraft and make sure you are on the version that you are playing on. So I'm actually going to go back to 1.20.4 just because that's the version I'm most familiar with. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, sorry, so I just had to release an emergency update for the bot, but now that everything's alright, the server started again, so we're just going to get right into it. So I have the server right here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it so I could show you how to add it. So once you're on Minecraft, whatever launcher you use does not matter. I use Luna personally, but once again, it doesn't matter. Just go on multiplayer, then hit add server. Then you don't have to put in a server name, but I just keep it TwitchCraft. And now the server address is going to be that thing that was automatically filled in for you at setup. So it's going to be 127.0.0.1 unless you changed it to something else. So now you can just hit done, and as long as you have the bot running, the server will be right up for you. So let's just go and hit join server. Perfect, and now we are right into the bot. So just like that, the bot is set up. One thing that I needed to mention is that make sure that the Twitch bot is a moderator in your chat. So if I just go on Twitch real quick, sign in with my regular account. So now that I'm on my regular account, we could see if I type in !tokens. See the bot is modded, and it just says how many tokens I have. Now if you want a list of commands, you could type !help. It's also once again on the readme. And it's going to be this link right here, https reentry.code/bot commands. So that's going to have all the bot commands for you, what they do, how many tokens they are, the streamer commands, and then there's also this link right here for the gamble tokens command because it's actually pretty advanced. So that is very important right there for you. Any other features? There's a pause, which simply just pauses the bot. You could resume it by hitting restart, and then it'll reload everything up, but it'll be the same world, and you'll still have all your stuff, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to wait just to show you that it still works. Boom, so that's right on for you. So we hit join server, and as you see, same world. We're still in the same exact world. Now, if you reset bot, now what that's going to do for you is that it's going to create a completely different world for you. So let's just wait for that to do its thing real quick. And see no existing world data, creating new world. So it's going to create that new world for you. Shouldn't take too long. Maybe this one's just taking a little longer, but it's almost there. 73%. There we go. We come back right back into that. And yeah, look at that, new world. Now let me show you if we go to this little gear up here. So if we do go to this gear here, you have an open readme.txt. You could just click on that, and it'll take you right in, and that'll show you the readme. Or you could also look bot commands right here. Boom. And then credits, and then there's settings right here. So these settings are important. So you have enable passive tokens earning, which basically will turn on and off whether you can earn tokens just by watching the stream. Enable mini games, cooldown between mini games, add a global cooldown to game affecting commands. So any commands that affect the bot at all, any of these commands, if you select this will add a 10-second global cooldown for all users. So like if you have a lot of people in your chat and don't want commands to be spammed, you could click on this. Allowing Twitch moderators to use streamer commands will basically allow them to use these commands down here. Give tokens, remove tokens, ban and unban. That one's simple. Enable PvP and multiplayer, also simple. Hardcore mode, simple. You can choose the difficulty. And by the way, for cooldown, you can select between 2 and 30 minutes. No more, no less. Resetting to default, we'll set it to these settings right here, as these are the default settings. And then, yes, there's a danger section over here. So minimum and maximum RAM, this is in gigabytes. This is basically how much RAM you want to dedicate to the server that you're running the bot on. So it defaults to 8, but if you don't have a good PC, you could bring it down to 4, although anything less than 4 is not recommended because it could lag. You could bring it more than that. The minimum RAM just means how much RAM it'll use at the very least, and the maximum RAM means, of course, how much RAM it'll use at the very most. Getting a new bot token, this just basically opens up the getBotToken.exe. And deleting the config, this is very dangerous because you have to basically set up the bot again. Just the setup screen, but if you don't remember your stuff, it's not recommended to do this. Just for the tutorial, I'm gonna reset it, and it just takes you right back here. See, everything's back to normal. So, what you could do here really is just, once again, you could set it up again, do whatever you need to do, put it in the bot. As you can see, I did switch these around right here. Perfect. And then you could just start it right back up. Alright, so I did actually have to make a few more adjustments to the bot, but now everything is finally good. So the screen that you are seeing right here, this is the start screen. This is the screen you'll see every time after you set it up for the first time. As you can see, you have the bot version right here, and most importantly, the Minecraft version. So that way you'll know whatever Minecraft version you're playing on. So you do have a multiplayer selection screen right here, and we will get into that in a little bit. There's the start button, and of course this just starts up the world. And there's import world. And what this does, it basically lets you import any of your Minecraft worlds. So I'm not actually sure which one of these are in the correct version for the bot, but I'm just gonna guess that maybe this one is. So I'm gonna overwrite the folder, world imported successfully, and let's hit start. So as you can see, once again, everything loads up. We just gotta wait for this to start loading up. Okay, perfect. Now that the world's loading, let's join up. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. As you can see, it has loaded a world that I've already been on before. Got wood in my inventory and stuff, so import world. Great little feature. If not, you don't have to use that, of course. If you have no reason to use that. So, I mean, we've talked about a lot of the features. We could get into multiplayer now. So if we go into README, as you can see, once again, that's all the information here. Just look through here. We already got through this. We got through the JDK, got through the bot token. We got through starting Minecraft, joining the server streamer. We got through that. So enabling multiplayer, there's not a whole lot I could show you about this, as I'd have to expose a lot of my personal information. But I'd recommend just taking a reading through this and trying to set it up yourself. These settings can definitely vary a lot between different routers, and especially between different network providers. So I use Verizon, but you might use AT&T, or depending on what part of the world you are in, you might use something completely different than that. So I would not take these settings 100%, but this is definitely the most supported way to do this. So if you just read through here, open your login page, log into your router. That's really the most hardest part, especially if you don't know the password for that. And then it tells you how to log in, allow Java through the firewall, have your friends connect using your public IP. If you want somebody to join on the same Wi-Fi as you, then they just use your local IP as a server address. And once again, you have to make sure that you have, of course, that you have multiplayer on. So we're just going to shut down the bot, and we're going to restart it. So as you can see right here, there's a selection for multiplayer. It's always going to default to off every time you turn off the bot. So you just want to select it on. Now, online mode, this is basically, if you ever heard of cracked Minecraft, if you don't own the real paid version of Minecraft, or somebody else doesn't own the real paid version of Minecraft, you're going to want to turn this off if you want them to be able to join your Minecraft server. However, you could just keep it on, as it's more secure this way. It's less prone to hackers if online mode's on. But once again, if you have somebody on cracked Minecraft that wants to join your server, then you just have to turn that off. I'm just going to turn it off just for this. Now, for Minecraft username, specifically make sure that you put in your own Minecraft username. And make sure, I don't believe that caps matter, so you could do that, or like capitals. But make sure you type it in right, and make sure it is your Minecraft username, or else multiplayer could definitely break for you. So then once you hit start, as you can see, we'll let this load. Great, so as you can see, it's now running on 0.0.0. You don't have to worry about that, but that is how to connect it to other computers. And you can see if we scroll up that it says server is running in offline mode. So now if we go on, the server now has a limit of a maximum of 5 people who could join. You join right in here. And if you can see at the very bottom of the screen, right down here, it's kind of hard to see from there, but maybe if I do that, there we go. So you can see a player list right here. This will update with the players in the game. You could also see the players' health bars by hitting tab, opening that menu. And on top of that, there's a new feature that is added. If you type /trigger locate players, it'll tell you the usernames of all players in the game and their exact coordinates. That's very useful if you want to track people, anything like that, know who's in the game. That's just a very useful feature for that. And if you want to turn off multiplayer, you would just have to disconnect, shut off the bot, and restart it, and it'll start off not in multiplayer. So, for the most part, that's pretty much everything else. There's a troubleshooting area. Oh, well, we could talk about tokens a little bit. So, with tokens, once again, you earn 1 token every 30 to 60 seconds. It's random. It could be any time in between those or exactly one of those times. You can also earn tokens through minigames. There's a chicken run minigame, a guess the number minigame, and a wither battle minigame. And you could also earn tokens through gambling tokens, trading tokens with other people, and giving and removing tokens. And you could find all of those commands just right in the command list. So utility, you have tokens, minigame commands, you have gamble, and then you have give tokens and remove tokens right there. So where you could find the token list, if you ever needed to manually adjust the token amounts, what you would do is WinR and then app data. So you'd actually type in %appdata%, and then you hit OK. I do it again just to show you. And then you'd scroll down and you would find TwitchCraft bot. And then once you click on that, you'll have your config right here if you ever needed to manually edit this for whatever reason. And then right below that, you're going to have your viewer tokens.json. So if you wanted to manually edit your token amounts per viewer or add or remove somebody from this list, make sure you do it while the bot is off, but you could do that right here. So I could give myself 999 tokens or however much that is, and it'll just go right in there for me. There are also backup files right here just in case these files get corrupted. You'll be before they get overwritten, you'll be able to come in and copy and paste these or use these as a reference to restore any corrupted or broken files. You don't really have to mess with MC server at all unless you know some stuff about the code in Minecraft. There's of course this troubleshooting. So if there's any errors, these help you with any errors at all. Changing the bot account, you don't really need to do this unless you have a specific reason. Just follow these instructions. It's about deleting the config and stuff. Not too bad. And that's pretty much it. For a tutorial of this, I mean, I guess that pretty much covers everything. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you could download this and have a good time with it. So see you later.